Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and it's our Motivation Wednesday, hump day. Staying focused, staying clear, staying confident. That's what we're doing today. I know Valentine's Day was Monday, but it's still Love Yourself Month. So, Motivation Wednesday, we're going to wrap Love Yourself Month into Motivation Wednesday. And what we're going to talk about today is answering a question for yourself. Are you setting your own standards, or are you living by someone else's? That's the question. That's what we're going to use today to get motivated. We're going to get motivated, and I'm going to share my screen today and pop up some slides. So let me get that going. But that's what we're going to use to motivate ourselves today. Are you living by your standards? Are you living by someone else's? And you're saying, Tracy, how is that motivating? That might be depressing. I totally get it. But you don't know till you don't know, right? You don't know what you're doing until you ask yourself these questions and you take the time to answer them. And you need to do that. You need to take the time and use it to motivate yourself to make change. So before we can even begin to make change, though, we have to understand how change happens. And that's what I want to talk about today. So let me share my screen. Are you living by your standards or someone else's? What is the answer to that? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know. Maybe you're like half in and half out. But before we can even understand it, we got to know what, like, setting expectations for yourself. We have to set the expectations for ourselves. And it's easy to allow other people to define who we are, what we do, what we're clear on. If we don't know what we want from ourselves, if we don't take the time to set some standards for who we are and stop accepting what everyone else believes we're capable of, what everyone else believes we can do, what everyone else believes that we should do. So that's the first step. And I want to understand, I always talk to my leadership students about this, that you have to understand the relationship between good, great, outstanding, and exceptional. And this is something that I got from Tony Robbins, one of his talks a long time ago, called Raising Your Personal Standards. And it was the first introduction to me on how to even evaluate if I had standards for myself or personal standards for myself. And he talks about everyone tries to stay here in this realm of good, right? Everyone wants to be good. They want to be just good. And then maybe they want to try and make that leap to great, right? And the leap from good to great, it's not that steep, right? And then maybe you want to go from great to outstanding. Just a little more effort is required. But to go from outstanding to exceptional, the amount of effort is not as great as it is to get from this level to this level. And this is where all the rewards are. Being exceptional, holding yourself to being the best version of yourself, holding yourself to developing the skills that you have and that you're natural at and that you're really good at, is what's going to get you here. Down here is where everyone is struggling. So if you're struggling in an area, I'd venture for you to look and see if you're just settling for good. Or maybe you have some success, maybe you're just settling for great. So the motivation topic for today is to figure out how you can go either from good to great or great to outstanding, or what is the small actions or the next step, the thing that you can do to go from outstanding to exceptional. Where is the one area that you can apply just a little bit more effort to start getting some big, amazing, phenomenal results for yourself, right? That's the relationship that I want you to keep in mind today. And I want you to look and see in your life where you want to go and what you can do. That is what I want you to think about. Now, what we talk about in the book and what we talk about, it's step 3 of the 9-step process that we have. And we'll go over it in the course is simply this, that you have to understand the difference between principles, values, and paradigms. So principles are your natural laws and fundamental truths that are external to you. Like, there's nothing that you can do. The universal, they're going to produce the same results and operate with or without your acceptance. The biggest example, easiest example is gravity. You don't have to believe in gravity to know that gravity is going to work. Gravity is. It is a principle. It's something that we deal with and we work around. So that is what a principle is. A value is the worth of the priority that we place on things, ideas, and principles. We choose the beliefs and ideas, and they're eternally subjective to how we see the world. So the values that we place on them, the value is what we place on the principle. That's where it comes. And they're influenced by our upbringing, the society, how we grew up, our environment, and our personal reflections, some of the things that we experience personally. And I think the easiest way to kind of sink this concept in is people's feelings about money. Right? This is where people they have different feelings about money. So that's a great example, I think, for you to understand values. And then finally, there are paradigms. And this is the way an individual perceives, understands, and interprets the surrounding world and the mental map, right? So your paradigm, and some of the paradigms that we wear are the paradigm that we take on of who we are as a wife, who we are as a woman, who we are as a mother, who we are as an employee, like the paradigms that we wear on how we understand how we're supposed to show up based on those labels. So those are the 3 definitions. And Stephen Covey says that if you want to make small changes, you're going to focus on your behavior. But if you want to make quantum leap changes, then you're going to work on your paradigms. So that is my challenge to you. Let me stop sharing my screen here. That's my challenge to you. Look at how your principles and values are impacting where you are on that scale of being exceptional. Where are you? How are your principles and values maybe holding you back? And do you need to just change the priority or the worth that you put on something? Or do you really need to shift your whole thinking about an area of your life to get you from that good to being exceptional? So how's that motivating? I know that's what you're thinking. How's that motivating? I want you to think about a time where you already achieved this. I want you to think about a time in your past where you can reach into your past and see how you had to make a shift. You had to make some kind of shift in your thinking and how you view things and how you perceive things to get something that you've already accomplished. And I want you to tap into that. And I want you to remember what that felt like and what you had to do. And I want you to apply it to something today. I want you to apply it to one thing today. Right? In our leadership program, we talked about making the possible impossible goals, what we were working on, doing the impossible possible goals, taking what we right now think is impossible and putting it forward as possible, and start making these shifts in our thinking on how we could take that from impossible to possible. And so I'm challenging you to do the same thing. And I want you to motivate yourself. I don't want you to look at it like work. I want you to look at it like it's a get to, something that you get to do. It's something that you get to work towards. It's something that you get to achieve. Okay. So that is how I want you to stay motivated today. I want you to love yourself enough to take the time from your day and other people's stuff and to think about you and to think about what you want to achieve and where you want to be exceptional, where you want to raise your own standards of yourself and start being something different. So that is how I want you to be motivated. And if you got some value out of this video, please share it. And I look forward to seeing and hearing how you are going to show up different in the world. Have an amazing Wednesday. Be exceptional. Be amazing. Be you.